Now, we come to atomic structure 2, physics. The, Here we will try to understand how the electrons are distributed in the different orbits. To keep an atom electrically stable, it has the same number of negatively charged electrons in orbit around the nucleus as there are positively charged protons in the nucleus. Otherwise, it won't be electrically stable. In situations where there are either more or less electrons in orbit than there are protons in the nucleus, the atom is called an ion. Suppose you have one extra electron more than the proton, it's a negative ion. And suppose you lose electrons, then the number of protons is more than the number of electrons, and it's a positive ion. This happens in static electricity and in some chemical solutions. Electron shells. Electrons are arranged in shells or orbits around the nucleus. Maximum number. There is a definite arrangement of the electrons in these shells and the maximum number of electrons possible in each shell. Shell or orbit number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In 1, the maximum number of electrons can be 2. In 2, the maximum number of electrons are 8. In 3, 18. In 4, 32. In 5, 50. The most electrons possible in the first shell are 2. After the first shell is filled, the second shell starts filling up according to the number of positive charges in the nucleus. The most allowed in the second shell is 8. Then the third shell starts to fill, and so on. Electron shells for a sodium atom at atomic number 11 with 11 electrons are shown in the picture. After the second orbit or shell is filled, things start to get complicated. The third shell fills until it gets to 8, and then the fourth shell starts adding electrons until it too has 8 electrons. Then the third shell fills until it gets to 18. You understand? So the third shell doesn't fill to 18, it fills to 8. The fourth shell starts filling, then it comes back to third. And outer shell basis of chemistry or valency. The number of electrons in each shell is the basis in the last shell, is the basis of chemical combinations. Energy levels. Electrons have potential energy depending on their shell or orbit. Each orbit has its own energy level. Each energy level are further broken into suborbits. There are some situations when an electron will jump from one orbit or energy level to another. When that happens, the electron gives off electromagnetic energy of one wavelength or color of light. See, that's the beauty. How do we get light? It jumps from one energy level to another. Since each element has its own electron shell or energy level configuration, it has its own set of colors called its spectrum. This is used to identify any element. This is a very, very beautiful point. Every element has its own energy level configuration, isn't it? That we have understood. Now, when it gives off colors, it gives its own set of colors. That is its particular spectrum. So by the light, we can know the element. And that's how we came to know so much about the stars and all that is happening in the universe. The power of the atomic theory. What a reality the atomic structure is. It is a deep fact about the whole physical world and explains so much. As we already saw in the earlier chapters, it explains sound, propagation of waves due to spring-like disturbances of medium, compressions and rarefactions. It explains heat. Heat is nothing but the jiggling and wiggling of atoms. It explains the giving off a light of a certain color. This happens when an electron jumps from one orbit to another. Electric current is nothing but free electrons in a metal moving in metals due to a potential difference. Magnetism in magnets is the result of the molecular atoms in matter that are aligned. We get magnetism because the molecular magnets inside are aligned. So one part becomes one pole, the other part becomes another pole. All the macroscopic properties can be explained with atomic theory. Examples are state, whether it's a solid or liquid or gas, it is explained by the atomic structure. Pressure of gases is explained by the atomic structure. It's the number of heatings of the atoms and molecules. Strength of materials. More bondings of atoms inside, more the strength. Temperature, average energy of movement of atoms in a body. Density, even density. Why is that some objects are more dense, more packed, the atoms, more the density. See how beautiful. It's like, the whole world has opened up and everything has been seen. Everything has become clear, etc. The whole of chemistry, that is chemical combination, depends upon valency as mentioned earlier. There is the outermost electrons, the number of outermost electrons determines what chemical reactions would take place. Hence, chemistry fundamentally is based on atomic theory. All the changes taking place in the whole universe is because of the number of electrons in the last orbit. It's called the valence electrons. Hence, chemistry fundamentally is based on atomic theory. The foundation of biology is chemistry. And hence, even biology depends upon atomic structure, the formation of complex molecules. So, we have got this whole structure of atoms, and it's one of the most fascinating, the greatest discovery of mankind, that everything is made up of atoms. So, that completes Atomic Structure 2, Physics Atomic Structure 2. I hope you enjoyed the show. You should further go deeper into this topic, because now you have understood the essence of the topic through this show. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you.